Hi sewing friends, welcome to my sewing room. My name's Beth, and if you're new, welcome. Today I'm making a small quilt. I'll be finishing it up soon for a gift, thinking it might be nice for the center of a table at Christmas time. So I have made 4 blocks, and each block takes some 2.5-inch squares. I have 5 red, 6 green, and 11 cream colored 2.5-inch squares, and I also have 5 2-inch squares, and the large square there is 5 inches. So I'm going to make 4 of these blocks using a lot of half square triangles. So let's get started. I drew a line from corner to corner just to give you an idea of what I'm aiming for. I'll be putting a seam on both sides of that pencil line, but after I make this first one, I will not be drawing any lines. So I'm putting a cream color square with a red and also the greens. So I should have I think it's 22 half square triangles when I'm done for each of my quilt blocks. After pressing all of my half square triangles, I trimmed them all to 2 inches. I'm using the line that goes through the center of my ruler, and I'm laying that right on that diagonal seam and trimming the excess away. For my block today, I was inspired by this old quilt pattern book I have, and it had quite a few of these quilt blocks that looked like pine trees or Christmas trees, and I was trying to kind of follow along with some of these patterns, and that's how I came up with the design today. I decided not to add the trunk for the tree. I'm just using sort of a part of that quilt pattern there. So to lay out my half square triangles, I started with 3 sets of 2 red half square triangles, just moving up from the left hand corner there, going up. And I'm going to add this video again at the end of the video here, just if you want to refer to the placement of the red and the green half square triangles. So after getting those 2 sets of red half square triangles and 3 squares, moving up left, I added 2 rows of green half square triangles pointing the same direction. So I'll have 6 on both sides of my row there of red. And after I have placed my 6 green half square triangles, I'm going to add 2 more reds and then 1 more square in the corner. Once I had all of my half square triangles and squares arranged, I went along and pieced them all into rows. The top 3 rows are made up of 6 pieces, and the bottom 3 rows on the left there are made up of 3. So when I was done sewing my rows together, I joined those 3 sets of 3 so that I could add them to that 5-inch square. That I have those joined together, I can add that square, that 5-inch square, and then I'll be able to add the top 3 rows, and my first block will be ready to go. Since my small quilt or my table topper here needs 4 of these quilt blocks, I pulled out more scraps, more red and green 2.5-inch squares, and I pieced them all together, and I needed to make a lot of half square triangles for this small quilt. I had originally decided I would join my 4 blocks together like this. I really think it's really beautiful. These quilt blocks are really pretty, but I did decide to add some sashing and a center square. It's always fun to just play around with blocks when you're done to see if there might be another way to join them together, and that's what I did right here, just using some bits and pieces to give me an idea of what it might look like. So since all of my little half square triangles are 2 inches, I cut my strips 2 inches wide. That kind of goes along with the same size. I cut them 9.5 inches long because these blocks are 9.5 inches. and then I just added a center square. I love the way this little quilt turned out. I'm really excited to do the next step. I will be quilting it very soon and getting it ready to give away. This is so pretty. I'm tempted to keep it myself, but I do know how to make it, so I might just have to make one for myself. Thanks for joining me here today in my sewing room, and if you want to watch again the way that I oriented all those half square triangles, here it is at the end. I'll see you next time.